The air in the prison was cold. The sound of heavy boots echoed down the hallway. Behind a thick metal door, a man sat in silence. His name was Thomas Gray, and he had spent the last 15 years behind bars. Now, he was counting down his final hours. Convicted for a crime he always swore he didn't commit, Thomas had only one request before his execution. "I want to see my dog, Rex." The warden raised an eyebrow when he heard the request. "Your dog? Not your family? Not a priest?" Thomas looked up with tired eyes. "No, just Rex." Rex was a German shepherd trained in search and rescue. Years ago, he and Thomas were an inseparable pair. Thomas had worked as a K-9 officer. Together, they saved lives, caught criminals, and shared something more powerful than friendship, a bond that words couldn't explain. When Thomas was arrested and charged with the murder of a city councilman, his life fell apart. But Rex was taken in by another officer. Over the years, he never forgot Thomas. Even though 15 years had passed, Thomas still whispered Rex's name at night. "Good boy, Rex," he would say to the empty cell. It was the morning of the scheduled execution. Thomas sat in a white prison uniform, hands cuffed, feet chained. The guards escorted him to a visitation room. The metal door creaked open, and in walked Rex. The old German shepherd's ears perked up. His tail wagged once. Then, for a moment, everything went still. Thomas smiled for the first time in years. "Hey, buddy," he said softly. But something strange happened. Rex growled, low at first, then louder. His teeth bared. His eyes locked on someone behind Thomas, not his owner, but at one of the guards. The growl turned into barking. Furious, loud, angry barking. Rex charged the guard, teeth flashing, but was stopped by his leash. Everyone froze. "Hey, what's going on with this dog?" one of the officers shouted. But Rex didn't stop. He barked at the same man again and again. He scratched the floor, pawed at the ground beneath the chair where Thomas sat. That's when someone noticed it. A yellowed photo had fallen from the guard's pocket. It hit the floor. A younger version of the guard, standing with the murdered city councilman and holding a silenced pistol. The guard, Officer Daniels, went pale. "That's not what it looks like," he said quickly, snatching the photo. But it was too late. The warden stepped forward. "Daniels, is there something you want to explain?" Rex growled again and lunged at Daniels. This time, Thomas stood up, still in chains, and spoke for the first time with fire in his voice. "Check the storage room. In the old K-9 unit files, you'll find the original case report, the one they hid." The room erupted in chaos. Dogs remember more than we think. Rex had been there the night the crime happened. He had seen Daniels sneak away with the city councilman. He had barked, but was locked in a car. His barks were ignored, and the next day, Thomas was blamed. But Rex never forgot the smell, the voice, the man who really pulled the trigger. And now, after 15 years, he had found him again. Daniels tried to walk away. "This is crazy. That dog's just old and confused." But the other guards weren't listening. They pulled Daniels aside, cuffed him, and started questioning him. An emergency investigation was launched. Within hours, everything changed. Old evidence was re-examined. A forensic expert found that fingerprints on the murder weapon were never matched properly. New DNA tests were run. And just like that, the truth came out. Officer Daniels had been working with the city councilman in a blackmail ring. But when the councilman threatened to expose him, Daniels silenced him. And when Thomas found the body and called it in, Daniels planted the gun in his car. Thomas had been innocent all along. The governor's call came just minutes before the execution. All charges against Thomas Gray are dropped. Immediate release authorized. Tears filled Thomas's eyes as the cuffs were removed. Rex barked and jumped on him, tail wagging wildly. The room filled with cheers and disbelief. "No one would have known," the warden whispered, "if that dog hadn't remembered." Thomas knelt and hugged Rex tightly. "You saved me, buddy," he whispered. "You always knew the truth." 2 days later, Thomas walked out of the prison gates a free man. Rex walked beside him. Reporters swarmed the gate. "How does it feel to be free?" Thomas smiled. "Ask my dog," he said. "He did all the work." The world now knew their story. Headlines everywhere read, Hero dog saves innocent man from execution. Thomas didn't care about the attention. All he wanted was to live quietly with Rex, maybe by the countryside, to enjoy every second they had left together. Weeks passed. Then one day, Thomas got a letter. It was from the family of the city councilman. Inside was a simple note. "We're sorry. We believed the wrong man. Thank you for loving your dog enough to prove the truth." And with it, a check. A settlement worth $2 million. Epilogue. The legacy of loyalty. Thomas bought a small house with a wide field. Rex had his own room, toys, and a cozy bed by the fireplace. Sometimes, Thomas would stare at the sunset and whisper, "You never gave up on me, huh?" Rex, now old and graying, would lay his head on Thomas's lap and close his eyes. Their story became legend. Police academies used it as a case study. Movies were made. But to Thomas, all that mattered was this. In a world that doubted him, one dog remembered the truth, and that truth set him free.